Worst parts of great games. Metroid Other M. And yes, I might be being a little generous with the great games portion of that title, but nonetheless, it was a Metroid that had a lot of bold and unique ideas going for it. Bold, like putting you in a 3D environment, but without an analog stick, and that actually works out fairly well. Unique for doing things like giving you a cast of characters for Samus to interact with in cutscenes. And both, for both modifying and completely throwing away mechanics that have defined the series up to this point. It all made for a very different kind of Metroid experience that the game-buying public was not all that interested in. And truthfully, there are a lot of aspects that might be called the worst aspect of this game. Much has been made out of the voice acting that Samus has in this game.
Much yet to learn. Among them was Anthony. In the face of his well-meaning behavior, and that of the other soldiers.
Others might take issue with the forced scanning sections that can be a bit frustrating. And some really hate that you don't find new pieces of equipment. You already have the equipment and you're just told it's okay to use them. And my particular issue actually stems from that. Or at least the logic of it, as this game takes place immediately after Super Metroid, with Samus having all of the equipment that she found during that game. She has to turn most of it off right at the beginning, and is slowly allowed to reactivate these pieces of equipment, one after another as the game unfolds, so at a certain point you can turn the charge beam back on, and the ice beam, and the Varia-suit, so forth and so on, drip-fed to you as the game goes on. But my issue is this. If you have all the equipment you got in Super Metroid, shouldn't you also have all of the missile and energy tanks you got in that game? As you have everything else, how come those don't carry over? But when the game starts, Samus has 99 health, and just a small handful of missiles. As if this took place after Super Metroid, she should have a whole lot of health. At the barest minimum, 4 or 5 tanks, really. And the number of missiles you have at the end of Super Metroid, sky's kind of the limit on that one. Even if you're not particularly looking for the missile upgrades, you'll still have over 100 without trying. So if she has all her other equipment, where did all that stuff go? Why is it not here? Instead, you'll slowly find energy tanks dotted around the bottle ship, and upgrades to your missile capacity that provide a far smaller upgrade than in most Metroid games. And it's this bizarre inconsistency in the logic of the game that truly is the worst aspect of Metroid Other M. Please do subscribe, comment, like, and tell your friends.